Welcome, everyone, to the National Genealogical Society's 2024 annual meeting. I'm Catherine Doyle, president of NGS. We're delighted to have you join us tonight to celebrate the past year's accomplishments and to take a look at what is in store for 2025. I especially want to thank all of our members for your continued support. Before we begin, a reminder that the election for the NGS Board of Directors and the vote to amend the Articles of Incorporation is underway. Members have just a few more minutes to submit the electronic ballot sent to you by email. Voting will close at 8:15 Eastern Time. If you cannot find that email, please search for NGS at intelliscanvotes.com, and we will announce the new directors and officers later in the meeting. At all of our board meetings, our first order of business is to remind ourselves of the mission of NGS. To ground our discussions, we will do that tonight as well. The mission of the National Genealogical Society is to inspire, connect, and lead the family history community. We foster best practices in advocacy, education, preservation, and research. We enable people, cultures, and organizations to discover the past and create a lasting legacy. And now let me introduce you to our board of directors. Vice President Ellen Balthazar, Vice President for Society and Organization Management, Sherry Passy, Secretary Father Simeon Williams, Treasurer Doug Klein, Directors Sarah Gredler, Lisa Fanning, Marlis Humphrey, Janice Cross Gilliard, Ed Donachie, Andre Kearns, Judy Nummerman, David Rencher, and past President Ben Spratling. And then, of course, our Executive Director, Matt Menashes. Now I'm going to hand off to Vice President Ellen Balthazar for some thoughts on tonight's meeting and the work we've done over the past year. Ellen?
Thank you, Catherine, and good evening. Welcome to the NGS annual meeting celebrating fiscal year 2024. The annual meeting is that wonderful time of year when we take a few minutes to say thank you, reflect on the progress we've made in the last year, cover a bit of business, and preview some of the highlights of what's to come in the next fiscal year, which begins on October the 1st. The theme for tonight is expanded possibilities. And yes, that does play off the theme of expanding possibilities we enjoyed back in May when we learned so many innovative approaches to genealogical research at our virtual family history conference. But tonight, we will look at the myriad of ways that NGS has expanded connections, educational opportunities, and ways to communicate across our membership. Executive Director Matt Menashes will introduce you to a couple of great new staff members, review our newest member benefits, and recall the opportunities we have to connect through Zoom events as well as online through the forum. Kate Smith will highlight the exciting progress of the Delegate Council and events that showcase our organization members. Kimberly Powell and Christy Sexton will give us the scoop on the latest in educational opportunities. And Kate Smith, Lauren Henready, and Tammy Mize will make sure you know how to stay up to date on the latest happenings, including the 2025 Family History Conference being planned for Louisville, Kentucky in late May. Then I'll be back with a teaser or two or about the fun things we have planned for 2025. And we'll check the pulse of our financial health with reports from Board Development Committee Chair David Rencher and Treasurer Doug Klein. What better way to cap off this evening than to have our Secretary, Father Simeon Williams, share the outcome of the 2024 NGS Officer and Directors election and the proposed amendment to the Articles of Incorporation. So at this point, we want to get this party started. We will look at the ways we've expanded the possibilities for us to connect, to educate, and to communicate. To start with, our Executive Director, Matt Menashes, will come to you via pre-recorded video since he's currently on vacation. So virtual Matt, take it away.
Good evening, everybody. I'm NGS Executive Director Matt Menashes. And as we get started tonight, first thing I wanted to do is introduce you to some of our new team members who've joined us since our last annual meeting in August of 2023. I want to welcome aboard Lisa Gorell, who's joined Matt Barry as our conference program co-chair, Lauren Henready, who joined us in July on staff as our new conference and events manager, Tammy Mize, who came to us with the merger with Conference Keeper, Gina Philibert Ortega and Christy Sexton, our GRIP co-managers, and our new Director of Education, Kimberly Powell, who is a newly minted AG. Congratulations, Kimberly. As we look at expanded possibilities, one of the things we've tried to do this year is expand the benefits we provide to you. One of the ones we're most proud of is the ability to provide you with an opportunity to get your NGS membership dues covered for free. If you're over 65, you can participate in this program. Grouper, our partner, works with Medicare to reimburse you for dues in the National Genealogical Society. It operates much like Silver Sneakers that you might have heard of, which pays you to keep physically active. Grouper pays you to keep mentally active. Go to groupergroups.com/NGS and find out if you're eligible to have your NGS membership dues reimbursed. This year, we also brought you complimentary access to Newspaper Archive, which you can find on our website by going to the Member Benefits section and following down the menus. If you would like to find out more information about the newspaperarchive.com benefit, which is free to you, check out the webinar from Mary Kirchurati on our YouTube channel. Mary talks about how she uses Newspaper Archive to benefit not only her personal genealogical research, but to help her as an editor of the National Genealogical Society Quarterly. And as I mentioned, GRIP is now part of the National Genealogical Society. Don't forget, as a member, you get a registration discount to GRIP. GRIP is already planned for 2025. We will be virtual from the 23rd through 27th of June and in Pittsburgh from the 13th to 18th of July. We look forward to seeing you either online or in Pennsylvania. And we also work to expand your possibilities to connect with each other. We run quite a few webinar series, whether it's our Your NGS webinars or Member Connects, our Culture Conversations events, or our sponsored webinars. All of those events, we keep the program open on Zoom after the speaker is done for you to connect with each other and make your connections with NGS deeper. This year, we hosted Newspaper Archives with Mary Kirchurati, as I mentioned. We had a conference preview, our Member Connects events last December on Preserve the Pensions, and then just this past May with Lisa Fanning and others on taking your genealogy research skills beyond family history. We offered 4 Culture Conversations events over this year, including Alelia Bundles, Megan Smoleniak, Mark Russ Fetterman, and coming up in October, Ashley Davis, the head of DEI for Ancestry. And we've hosted sponsored webinars with VividPix, MyHeritage, and Ancestry. In fact, our Ancestry webinar with Krista Cowan on the power of ancestry DNA has had over 22,000 views on our YouTube channel. Talk about expanding possibilities. And finally, I want to mention Forum, our online community, a place for you that's advertising free and private for you to connect with other members of the National Genealogical Society. You can direct message each other or participate in any of the community bulletin boards that are there. Well, with that, let me turn it over to Kate Smith to continue to expand your possibilities and share with you more about the work she's doing. Kate, take it away.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here and see you all this evening. I am Kate Smith. I'm the NGS Organizations and Communities Manager. The theme of our program this evening is Expanded Possibilities, which resonates with everything the Society and Organization Management Program focuses on. As one of our core strategic initiatives with NGS, supporting our organization members and their ability to expand their work drives what NGS does daily as we work with our organization members and their delegates in collaboration. Here are the current numbers for our organizations. As you can see, We have 549 organization members, including 291 societies, 246 libraries, 10 archives, and 2 museums. And we have 226 delegates and 338 administrators named from those organizations. Our delegates meet quarterly to talk with each other on important topics for their organizations and to get information from NGS. These are great conversations and we get helpful info in each session. The Delegate Council Steering Committee has been hard at work planning out productive meetings and moving projects forward. They recently closed the first organization member survey and will begin sharing those results soon. Thank you to every organization that's participated. Another group making progress is the task force developing a recognition of excellence program. They've been discussing and refining criteria and are doing incredible work behind the scenes. Our conference activities for organizations this year were a huge success, including the Delegate Council meeting, Focus, and the SLAM Idea Showcase. The virtual Focus event for organizations offered learning opportunities around the theme of outreach and engagement. Dr. Tanya Matthews, President and CEO of the International African American Museum, provided an inspiring and motivational keynote with lessons from launching one of the country's newest and most compelling museums. 9 breakouts gave practical examples and ideas from societies and libraries, featuring programs and projects that have reached new audiences or engaged a community. We're looking forward to the in-person opportunities that are taking shape for 2025 in Louisville. 2024 also included another incredible SLAM Idea Showcase, highlighting outstanding work by genealogy societies, libraries, archives, and museums. Thank you to the committee for their insights and help with this competition. Judy Russell was our fabulous program host once again as we celebrated the winner, honorable mention, and participants leading into the opening of the Family History Conference. Congratulations to Buffalo and Erie County Public Library and the Western New York Genealogy Society, who won with Buffalo's Neighborhoods Exploring Our Migrant and Immigrant Heritage, and to honorable mention New York Genealogical and Biographical Society with Digitize New York, a model for record preservation and access. I encourage you to check out the SLAM Idea Showcase for 2024, along with previous year's videos on the NGS YouTube channel. Additionally, NGS is working with partners who can benefit organization members by offering tools and resources to help with outreach and to help get more people excited about genealogy and family history. This is going to remain a focus as we prepare for America 250 in 2026. At the beginning of 2024, we launched a partnership with the Family History Guide. Organization members can learn more about how much this resource brings to them during our next Org Connects event with Bob Taylor on Thursday, the 3rd of October, kicking off Family History Month. We're working with WETA, the PBS affiliate that produces Finding Your Roots, on ways to connect our organizations and PBS stations for genealogy-related events around shows. As part of that, board member Lisa Fanning was a panelist for the virtual national conversation From Dead Ends to Discoveries, Overcoming Roadblocks in Genealogy Research, and that recording is on the Henry Louis Gates Jr. YouTube channel. We're also continuing to build the partnership with VividPix for the Family Matters program. The Outreach Toolkit loan gives member organizations the opportunity to host free scanning events using the VividPix memory station and software, and provides education and marketing resources. This is especially exciting with the capabilities of the new software and the research that VividPix CEO Rick Voigt is involved with regarding brain health, dementia, and the positive impact of photoreminiscence. Finally, Conference Keeper is now a part of NGS, and manager Tammy Mize is doing a fantastic job promoting organizations and their events. Member organizations can get featured and receive a discounted rate for paid ads on the site. Tonight, I am thrilled to announce that starting in 2025, organization members will be eligible for one free sidebar ad to run for 1 month. You'll hear more from Tammy in a few minutes, and we appreciate all that she's doing to support organizations. There are links in the chat giving you some more information on what I've mentioned. If you have any questions or would like for me to speak to your organization, please reach out. I will be putting my email in the chat and would love to hear from you. While much of our effort this past year has been focused on developing a voice for our organization members and enhancing collaboration opportunities for individuals and organizations, we have not lost the focus on the traditional strengths of NGS, including our top-notch education programs. And so with that, I'm happy to introduce Kimberly Powell, our Education Director. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you very much, Kate. Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here with you to share some updates on our educational initiatives. First, I'd like to highlight the continued success of our two signature courses, Foundations in Family History and Advanced Skills in Genealogy. These programs have become cornerstones of NGS's educational offerings. They provide valuable resources for genealogists at various stages of their journey. The Foundations course continues to equip beginners with essential research strategies, while Advanced Skills has helped experienced genealogists dig deeper into a variety of source types and improve their methodology. We owe a debt of gratitude to our previous education director, Angela McGee, whose vision and hard work brought these programs to life. Angela's dedication to creating comprehensive, accessible curricula has set a high standard for genealogical education. Her legacy continues to inspire us as we move forward. Thank you, Angela, for your many contributions to NGS. In the past year, we have also made significant strides in familiarizing our members with generative AI tools. Our two popular AI and genealogy courses, taught by NGS AI Program Director Steve Little, covered everything from AI basics and prompt engineering to leveraging AI for family history research and creating custom GPTs. It was fun to see the creativity, sharing, and connections that these courses inspired. To continue adapting to the fast-changing world of AI, our AI Toolbox workshops, spearheaded by our Education Course Manager, Patricia Reed, and the NGS Education Committee, have allowed even more genealogists to dip their toes into the use of AI for family history. These initiatives showcase NGS's commitment to embracing innovative education while ensuring our members are well-equipped to navigate the digital age of genealogy. Our members bring a wealth of backgrounds, interests, experiences, and learning styles to the table. So as we look to the future, we're excited to offer new educational experiences with a focus on embracing our diversity and enhancing engagement and accessibility. We believe in the power of collaborative learning, but we also understand the need for adaptable individual study options. Thus, our goal is twofold. First, we want to offer community-driven learning experiences that create opportunities and for meaningful connections and make learning fun. Through collaborative courses and workshops, we want to foster a diverse and welcoming environment where shared learning enriches our individual research journeys. Second, we're committed to providing flexible, self-paced options for those with busy schedules who prefer to learn independently. In the coming year, we're going to explore new ways to balance these approaches while maintaining the high standards you expect from NGS. Your input is crucial in this process. Please email me at educationdirector@ngsgenealogy.org with your thoughts or suggestions for future educational initiatives. We greatly appreciate your input as it helps us shape programs that are relevant and valuable to our members. I'm excited about the path ahead for our educational programs. We stand on a strong foundation thanks to the hard work of those who came before us, and we're excited to embrace new technologies and methodologies to improve the online learning experience. At the heart of it all is you, our dedicated community of genealogists. I look forward to connecting and learning with you in the year ahead. So one of the most exciting changes to our education program this year was the transition of a premier genealogy institute to NGS ownership. I'd like to invite GRIP co-manager Christy Sexton to tell us about our first year success. Welcome, Christy.
Thank you, Kimberly. I'm so excited to be here tonight to talk to you about the progress and future of NGS's GRIP Genealogy Institute, or as we lovingly call it, just GRIP. As you know, when NGS acquired the Genealogical Research Institute of Pittsburgh in October at the start of our fiscal year, we rebranded to GRIP Genealogy Institute to reinforce our people-centered focus. We foster great connections while improving research skills with in-depth learning that is people-centered. We use this phrase as our driving force. It's our guiding star as we expand your education possibilities at GRIP. I'm pleased to report that our first year was a success. For the 2024 year, we have hosted 2 weeks of education, one virtual and one in person at LaRoche University in Pittsburgh, with 19 courses split between the 2 sessions. Our 20th course, a unique one-time event with Tom Jones, will take place virtually this September. So far this year, we've welcomed a total of 490 students. In addition, we had 51 faculty members and coordinators who were critical to our reaching these milestones. The most exciting part of all of this, 45% of our attendees were first-timers. Our students significantly enriched their understanding of the genealogy field, made valuable connections, and fulfilled their continuing education with our people-centered model. During our in-person week, we saw students who made connections in and out of the class with experiences and activities designed to enrich them. These included a rousing game night with prizes, a photo booth, incredible keynotes, and some focus time in the classroom for the week. We are looking forward to a fantastic 2025. We have an exciting lineup of 17 courses led by dedicated coordinators committed to expanding these connections and creating a unique experience for NGS. Gina Philibert Ortega and I announced the 2025 courses on Facebook Live earlier this month. You can see how excited we both are in the video, which is available on the GRIP Facebook page and will be available on YouTube later this month. Our vision is to foster a collaborative educational environment that welcomes back previous attendees and attracts new students from diverse backgrounds. A vital part of this plan involves strengthening our partnerships with societies, libraries, and archives with benefits for our member organizations. We'll discuss those opportunities with the Delegate Council over the next year. I'm thrilled to be a part of the GRIP community, a thriving group of people who embody our motto and spirit of making great connections while continually improving their genealogy research skills. We look forward to you joining this community as well. Visit our website at grip.ngsgenealogy.org or on our social media channels to hear more about what is happening in the GRIP community and join the conversation. Should you have any questions or thoughts you would like to share, you can email us directly at grip@ngsgenealogy.org. Thank you. And I'm going to turn the time back over to Kate Smith, our Organizations and Community Manager. Kate?
Thank you, Christy. Lauren and Tammy and I would like to share a few things with you that are designed to improve some of the programs you're familiar with from NGS. Let's start with the way we deliver news. With the addition of Conference Keeper, which you'll hear more about from Tammy in a moment, we have stopped publishing NGS Monthly. The monthly archives, a fantastic resource, are still available on the website. And we still deliver NGS and genealogy news to you. And there are 5 places you can find us: on Upfront with NGS, the forum homepage, on our YouTube channels, in NGS Magazine, and on Conference Keeper. All of those URLs are going to be dropped in the chat for you so that you have them for easy reference. Lauren, can you tell us exciting news about the 2025 conference?
Good evening. I'm Lauren Henready, NGS Conference and Events Manager. The big news for 2025 is that we are very pleased to return to an in-person conference following the virtual conference this past May. Please join us in Louisville, Kentucky on May 23rd through 26th, 2025. The conference will take place at the Galt House Hotel, and everything will be under one roof: your sleeping rooms, education and general sessions, exhibit hall, etc. Planning is well underway, and we can't wait to share more details with you in the coming months. Be sure to follow us on social media and watch our conference website, conference.ngsgenealogy.org, for more information. Registration will open in December, and we will email links for reduced lodging at the Galt House Hotel after you register for the conference. Rooms will start at $179 a night. Louisville is fantastic. From the Filson Historical Society and the National Society Sons of the American Revolution Library to the Louisville Slugger Museum, Muhammad Ali Center, and Churchill Downs, Louisville has something for everyone. Great food, great culture, and great friends. And since the conference is taking place over Memorial Day weekend, we encourage you to take a vacation from the conference. Stay through Monday so you can join us for Memorial Day special events. We look forward to seeing you in Kentucky. Tammy, why don't you share a bit more about Conference Keeper and all the other educational opportunities available for genealogists and family historians?
Thank you so much, Lauren. Hi, I'm Tammy Mize, and I'm the manager of conferencekeeper.org. As many of you know, Conference Keeper is the most comprehensive online calendar dedicated to all kinds of genealogy events, not just conferences, and it's available to everyone for free. Conference Keeper expands your education possibilities with information and news. Conference Keeper is now easily accessed through the NGS website by navigating to the Conferences and Events tab at ngsgenealogy.org and clicking on the Genealogy Events Calendar. That'll take you right to Conference Keeper. Or you can go to conferencekeeper.org directly. The calendars on the website include anything of interest to genealogists and family historians, including webinars, in-person and virtual programs, workshops, seminars, classes, institutes, and more. They've been submitted by genealogy organizations, primarily in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Events may be virtual, in-person, or hybrid, with options ranging from free sessions to some requiring a fee. All are clearly indicated on each calendar entry, so you know what you're getting into. One of the key features of the conferencekeeper.org calendars are their searchability. You can find educational opportunities on virtually any genealogy topic by searching using keywords. Either search on a subject like census or the name of your local library or society, or even by the name of a favorite speaker to see when they'll be speaking next. And don't forget to check out the tab on the menu bar at the conferencekeeper.org website called Other Events and Opportunities, where you'll find pages specifically for calls for papers and presentations, genealogy podcasts and YouTube channels, volunteer opportunities, and more. There's just a wealth of information under there. Your genealogy organization or business can submit events for calendars for free publicity. If you'd like additional exposure, sidebar advertising and weekly email sponsorship are available at a reasonable cost, and they're discounted for NGS member organizations. As Kate mentioned, starting in 2025, organizational members may submit one month website sidebar ad for free each year. You'll get, which is an excellent value. Our weekly email reaches over 6,000 enthusiasts, so sponsorship gets your information right in front of the people who want to read it. And you can easily subscribe to the newsletter using the links on the website's homepage. We're always happy to support genealogy education, and I appreciate feedback and suggestions. Please don't hesitate ever to contact me either using the contact tab on the website or email me directly at tammy@conferencekeeper.org. Now I'll hand this back to Catherine.
Thanks, Tammy, for all the work you do to keep Conference Keeper such an amazing resource. So one of the most important programs of the National Genealogical Society is our work to honor excellence in family history. Judy Neimer-Munn, our terrific awards committee chair, has asked me to remind you that we have entered awards season. We need you to tell us about the great genealogical work in your local area that deserves national recognition. The URLs are on your screen and in the chat. Our competitions shine a bright light on the exceptional writing done by genealogists and family historians, and was particularly excited to read the submissions to our Rubicam Youth Writing Competition and to the Family History Writing Contest. The deadline for all awards and competitions is December 15th. And now I'll turn things over to Ellen, who will share some of what's new and upcoming at NGS. Ellen?
Thanks, Catherine. Even as we head into fiscal year 2025, we are looking ahead to 2026 and America's 250th anniversary. Here are a few examples of what we're working on. Our Society and Organization Management Program, for instance, is creating toolkits for member organizations. In 2022, we began creating annual materials for Family History Month. Building on what we published in 23, members should watch for new PDF downloads just in time for October 2024. Member organizations can use these handouts at public events and can add their logos to the documents. And individual members can download to share with family and friends. Our DEI committee is working with the Delegate Council leadership on a toolkit to support organizations as they build inclusive communities for all genealogists and people interested in family history. The kit will include easy to implement ideas to expand the reach of genealogical organizations throughout the U.S. We're also working on a toolkit to provide organizations with resources and ideas to prepare for America 250 in 2026. Organizations nationwide have created excellent guides and planning tools for America 250. We will point our people to the best places to find information and the best resources available for public engagement. We are also planning to expand a program we launched this year with the entire genealogy community. Family History Capitol Hill Day, sponsored by the Records Preservation and Access Coalition, fondly referred to as RPAC. We will announce the dates later this year, but please try and plan a trip to Washington, D.C. in April 2025 to visit with your members of Congress about issues impacting genealogy. Heading into 2025, we are expanding the future of genealogy by establishing new working groups, one on futures and foresight, and the other specifically on forensic genealogy. We'll also be recruiting volunteers for committees, including the 2025 Conference Committee, so look out for opportunities to participate. Finally, we are so pleased to bring new titles to your personal library or your local library shelves. Forensic Genealogy Theory and Practice from Michael Ramage and Catherine Damaris is now available for pre-order and will ship this fall. And available now are our two latest state research guides for Hawaii and Maine. We are especially grateful to Denise Picard Lindgren and Darcy Heim Pose for their support in underwriting these two titles. We are excited about all this new programming, but these new initiatives will require resources. So now I'd like to ask David Rencher, chair of our development committee, to update us on the 2024 annual fundraising campaign. David?
Thank you, Ellen. What an exciting vision of things to come in 2025. It's certainly no surprise that these initiatives all take expanded resources to produce. Each year, in addition to membership dues, we rely on the generous donations of our membership to sustain and expand the services of the National Genealogical Society. This year, we're honored to have two marquee influencers in the genealogical community, Tom Jones and Karen Maurer Jones, serving as co-chairs and leading the NGS annual giving campaign. In their words, quote, We're so proud to support NGS, which has helped us and so many others to advance their knowledge of genealogical research. We have been members for a combined total of 78 years. One or both of us have served the organization as co-editor of NGSQ and have been members of its editorial board since that time. We give to NGS to support its conferences, education programs, and publications, and are thrilled to see NGS doing so much for genealogists, end quote. A little past the midway point through the year, I'm pleased to report that we have received 33% of our annual donation goal for 2024. We know that many of you donate in the last quarter of the year as you look toward your tax-deductible gifts. You may also make gifts as a monthly donation and make it easy to remember. There are two other ways you might consider giving. One would be to plan your gift and help NGS build on its 120-year history and leave a legacy for future generations that will benefit your posterity and others. Another way to participate is to recognize a friend's or loved one's legacy with a tribute or memorial gift. For every donation NGS receives, a tree is planted through our partners at One Tree Planted. Every dollar helps us. So even if your dollar amount is small, it all helps us further the work of NGS to benefit you and your participating societies, archives, and libraries. Now let me turn things over to Doug Klein, our treasurer, who will present our latest audited financial statements. Doug?
Thank you, David. Good evening. I'm Doug Klein, the treasurer of the National Genealogical Society, and I've served in this role since October 2022. It's an honor for me to continue to serve NGS and assist on the financial side of expanded possibilities. Tonight, I'm here to present to you the results of the annual audit for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2022 to September 30th, 2023. The audit report dated 5 August 2024 provides a look at the 2 years then ended and includes the detailed statement of financial position or balance sheet, the statement of activities and changes in net assets, and the statements of functional expenses and cash flows. We are proud to once again announce that NGS received an unqualified opinion, which means that in our independent auditor's judgment, our financial statements are fairly and appropriately presented without any identified exceptions and in compliance with generally accepted accounting principles, or GAAP. Our audits for the past several years are available on GuideStar, GuideStar.org. Should see the link there for that. Turning to the statement of financial position, commonly referred to as the balance sheet, includes total assets as of September 30, 2023 of about $2,910,000, shown at the bottom of the slide. Those total assets are comprised primarily of cash and marketable securities of about $2.64 million. Liabilities fell from $745,000 to $709,000, largely a result of the decreases in deferred dues revenue, which is a liability. Net assets, shown near the bottom of the slide, increased from $1.9 million at the end of fiscal 2022 to $2.2 million at the end of fiscal year 2023. This was partly due to the performance of the stock market during the fiscal year, which accounts for some of the improvement. It's important to remember that we manage our investments for the long term, and swings from year to year are to be expected in the investments. The statement of activities from operations on this slide shows how we did with our operating programs. We had a good year in education services with the rollout of our advanced skills certificate program. That accounted for about $135,000 net towards our approximately $200,000 operating net surplus for the year, compared to $600,000 in operating deficit last year. Recall that $400,000 of that was from the stock market decline. This year, we recovered $140,000 of that loss in the stock market, and I can tell you that as of 31 July 2024, our investments are doing very well. Again, we invest long-term in a diversified portfolio that minimizes market risk to an acceptable tolerance with our existing investment policies. We review those periodically with the board and with our selected investment advisor. Membership revenue continues to be soft after the COVID event. We are working on innovative programs and products that you've heard about tonight to enhance the entire experience and drive value, which we expect will help our membership retention as well. In summary, we're in a good financial condition with clean opinions on our financial statements as a whole. Our investments have rebounded and are more stable and actively managed to provide us with both short-term and long-term financing goals to support these wonderful current and future programs, including our GRIP Institute and other opportunities yet to come. You've heard about our conference plans, GRIP, education, other programs, all of which require we carefully budget and execute on our program revenues with intention. We will continue to invest in those programs, leverage our employees, contractors, and network resources to react accordingly to an ever-evolving genealogy market. You have heard how we are doing on our annual giving program campaign from David, and that's what we're about 1/3 of the way there. We can always use your support with donations and our expanded planned giving opportunities. We're putting the finishing touches on our robust budget for 2025 this month and are extremely excited for you to hear even more about the topics that we've been discussing tonight. If you have any questions for me on these financial matters, please email me at the address on the screen, or I'll be available during the Q&A at the end. Catherine, back to you.
Thank you very much, Doug. So before I turn things over to our secretary to announce the election results, I would first like to acknowledge the incredible work by our nominating committee. Thank you to Committee Chair Karen Stanberry and members Renata Sanders, Luis Rivera, Michael Hall, and Karen Mollahan. We are deeply grateful to them for their fine service. And now I will turn the floor over to Father Simeon Williams, and he will announce the election results.
Alrighty, good evening, everybody, and thank you again for attending tonight's annual meeting. My name is Father Simeon Williams, and in my position as secretary, I have the privilege of reviewing and announcing the results of the 2024 election. So on your screen now is the slate of candidates that was presented to the membership for election. All members received an invitation to vote from IntelliScan, the company that handles our elections. This year, the total number of votes cast was 884, and the entire slate was elected. The election of officers and directors presented is therefore confirmed by member vote. Now, regarding the amendment to the Articles of Incorporation to codify the Vice President for Society and Organization Management, there were 875 yes votes and 7 no votes. That means that the proposed amendment to the Articles of Incorporation was approved by the vote of the membership. So congratulations to all of our new officers and directors, and we wish you the best in your new roles serving our society. So now let me turn the Zoom back over to Catherine.
Thanks, Sam. Congratulations to our new board of directors. First, I'd like to introduce the 5 new board members. Vice President Rebecca Coford, Vice President for Society and Organization Management, Kate Townsend, Director Region 1, Reem Awad Rajwami, Director Region 4, Pamela Sayer, and Director at Large, John Dugan. Welcome to the board. The following board members were re-elected to continue their service. Directors at Large, Andre Kearns, Judy Naimamun, Sherry Passy, and Father Simeon Williams. Current Treasurer Doug Klein will continue in his officer role, and Ellen Balthazar has been elected secretary, and David Rencher is elected as the incoming president. I also want to acknowledge 4 board members who are continuing their service and were not up for election this year. 2 regional directors will continue those roles, Lisa Fanning in Region 2 and Marlis Humphrey in Region 3. Janice Gilliard and Donna Key will continue to serve as directors at large, and I will continue to serve as past president. As you can see from this map, we are the National Genealogical Society with a board that represents all parts of the United States. Our bylaws require us to have at least 1 director from 4 regions, and as you can see, the board is spread across the country. Finally, I want to take this opportunity to thank Sarah Gredler, who is retiring from the board. I also want to thank Ben Spratling, who served as vice president for 2 years, president for 4 years, and past president for 4 years. Thank you, Ben, so much for your expertise and for the 12 years you have given to NGS. And now I'd like to invite incoming President David Rencher to say a few words.
Thank you, Catherine. And thank you for your leadership over the last 4 years. It's truly been an honor to serve and work with you on the board through the merger of NGS and FGS and all that the merger has brought to the new NGS. Your leadership has been an inspiration to all of us who have been working with you over the past few years. Your leadership to unite NGS is a place where everyone, regardless of ethnic background or origin, has a place in NGS, and the resources that it provides are now far more representative of the fabric of our nation. I'm delighted to have you continuing on the board as past president. I'm deeply honored to be selected as the incoming president of NGS and welcome your feedback for ways that NGS can better serve each of you personally and the leadership of our societies, archives, and museums, and the community at large. NGS is the national organization that is best suited to meet those needs. I know that there were many who were concerned about the merger of FGS and NGS and what that may mean for societies. I think you can see that societies have not been lost in the merger. Rather, there are significant enhancements to the benefits and services, as well as the representation at the national level for all societies to participate. There are still significant funds set aside from the merger to address the needs of societies, and we have visionary plans to expand that space. I hope that the leadership of all societies, libraries, archives, and museums will see the benefits of membership in the National Genealogical Society. Thank you all so much. I'll turn the time back to Catherine.
Thank you, David. And let me apologize right up front for the several glitches that we've had this evening. Sometimes technology just doesn't work as well as it should. And for some reason, we were capped at 100, even though we had more than double who had registered. So I'm not sure what happened, but we will make our apologies and everyone will be able to watch the video on our YouTube channel. We know that some of you may have some questions, but we only have a few minutes before our hour is up. So we will do our best to take your questions down and get back to you with answers if we can't answer them now. Matt Menashes and his staff will host an open house in early October to answer detailed questions about NGS membership. Look for an announcement about that in early September. And now I'll ask Treasurer Doug Klein and President-elect David Rencher to join me as panelists to answer your questions that you may have on finances or fundraising. Please type your questions in the chat or raise your virtual hand by clicking raise hand under the reaction buttons on your Zoom menu. And we'll do our best to answer whatever questions we can. Lauren, will you serve as our MC and we'll be able to answer the questions?
Sure. I don't see any questions coming in via email.
There are no questions thus far.
There are no questions thus far. Thank you, Christy.
Hey, if anybody wants to raise their hand, I can put myself on gallery here, and doesn't look like there's any curiosity. Everybody wants to get off and watch Oprah Winfrey on at the Democratic Convention tonight. So thank you all for joining us tonight. We did have a few technical glitches. I apologize again for that. We hope that what we've shared this evening assures you that NGS is focused on inspiring, connecting, and leading the family history community. As a reminder, please hold your calendars for the in-person NGS Family History Conference, May 23rd to 26th, 2025 in Louisville, and for GRIP in the 2 weeks in June and July. Thank you for attending the annual meeting this evening. It's an honor to serve as your president and to voice our appreciation for all that you do and for being with us tonight to celebrate NGS in 2024. If you wish to stay on, Zoom will be open until 9:30 Eastern to allow members to connect. But I have a feeling that since we are competing with major convention, we probably will all be rushing off. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. Good night.